Good day and welcome to the Know-How channel. Today we're going to show you how to set up your tank levels on your Turbo GXs. This can be used for any tanks up to any size. It depends on how you program them. Most people use it in their automotive vehicles because they want to see what their water tank level or the diesel tank level is, and they want to see it on their displays or through their system. So on the tank level, you have two cables. It usually comes with two cables. It's a resistance-based tank level. You do get tank levels that are voltage-based. If you do want to use a voltage-based one, you need to add it's a dongle that's called the GX or tank level 140. It plugs into the USB side of your GX device, and then you can use voltage-based tank levels as well on the Turbo. So if you look on this side, how to set up, rather simple. You go to your menu. Once it picks up your tank, it won't immediately pop up on your device list. You will go down to settings, scroll all the way down to the bottom to your inputs and your outputs. That's your I/O tab. You click on there, you go to analog inputs, and there's your tank levels. So I use tank level input 1 on it, so that's the one that's switched on. As you can see there on the video, that's number 1 we use. Okay. When you go back, you'll see that it pops up. The first thing you want to make sure is, with your device, is to go into the device, make sure it picks up, it's by setup, make sure it picks up a resistance here at the bottom. So there's your sensor value. So that you know which side is your low side and your high side. So, because in the settings, you can change it to your sensor value when it's empty and your sensor value when full, when you use a custom standard. Then obviously when your tank is empty, I saw the sensor value is 250, so we set it to something close to 250 when it's empty. If you want to use preset customs, there's a European standard that's 0 to 180, which would be empty at 0 ohms and 180 at full. US is the opposite again. It will be empty at 240 and full in 30. So make sure you choose the correct standard, or if you do not know, you can use custom and look at your value of your sensor when it's moved. So at the moment it's at the bottom of your tank. If I move it all the way to the top, you'll see the sensor value change to 50 ohms resistance. The rest of the settings, you can set up your capacity in liters. That won't change anything to your sensor value. That will only give you a more or less average of your capacity that's left. So at the moment, if it's 2%, it will say that the remaining of 0 liters. So if you lift it up or you fill your tank with water, you'll see that the percentage will go up, and that will reference back to how much liters it works out it's a sum that it works out. So it won't be super accurate. The more you play with your setup and play with your resistance to how much liters capacity a full tank is, the more accurate it will be. Same with your fluid type. You can choose. This will also not change anything on your sensor value, only for your reference to remember, this is the one I used on my fresh water, or this is the tank level I used on my oil tank or fuel, and the list goes on and on and on. Your volume units is for your reference. How do you want to read it out? Do you want it to be in gallons or do you want it to be in liters? And then the last thing is your averaging time. Please take note of your averaging time. This is the time it will take for the sensor value to change on your overview of how much percentage it is. So at the moment it's set to 10 seconds because you don't want it to always, as water runs out, you don't want it to just jump around. If you want it to be slightly more accurate, you can set it to 1 second if you want to, and this will constantly change. So now if you move it even a slight bit, it will jump immediately. So when we move it up, it jumps up much quicker. So you won't, in my opinion, having a 1 second averaging time is not always more accurate depending on the size of your tank. I like to use a 10 second for the sensor to read the value, give it out, and then change to the percentage. You're not going to throw water, fill a tank in 1 second in any case. So as you fill it, you want it to be more accurate. I would rather recommend anything from 5 seconds to 10 seconds on an averaging time. Yeah, there's not much more on the tank levels, so thank you very much. See you next time.